Are you going to sit or not? You prefer to stand? All right, so let me welcome everybody to the meeting for RISE today. As you know, the acronym, or whatever you want to call it, that we have for RISE, Regional Innovators Sustaining the Ecosystem. And Vicki does a great job organizing this thing and getting speakers to come in and talk to us. So with that, there is some coffee outside if you're interested. There's also some pastries that are sponsored by myself, and the coffee by Profit-Wise. Brought a blanket by Ashley Hines. And with that, Vicki, I'm going to turn it back to you.
All right, Ashley.
I'm coming up here. I feel like it's so much more than normal today. Good morning, everyone. I believe we have some new faces here today, so I just want to welcome everyone. Thank you so much for attending this morning. My name is Ashley Hines, and RISE is a group of entrepreneurs that all collectively build a platform for us to be able to build relationships and partnerships with each other. So thank you so much for joining us.
All right. Thank you. All right, I do want to tell everybody, if you don't know, my name is Vicki Morris. I am the program director for RISE. And one of the really cool things that I wanted to do for RISE is provide an opportunity for business owners to have some tools ready, available at their disposal. So we created the Rise and Grind Bootcamp. It is live. There are, I think, 5 modules right now. And these modules are all on there, and you have access to them the entire time that you join in now, and you have access forever. No matter how many times I update it, it will be changing to more of a monthly fee base. However, this is just a great way for you to get a foothold into getting your business started. The modules, of course, marketing and messaging. We've got intellectual property, and that is a really, really great module. He goes in such a deep dive, gives lots of great information. HR for your small business. We've got modules on nonprofit funding and for-profit funding for businesses. And I think we've got a sales prospecting module coming up. But lots of modules will be added. No matter how many modules we add, you pay one time, you get access to all of them. So it's a great thing to do. And if you don't know already, I love QR codes. So this little puppy here is a QR code. You scan that, focus your phone on that, scan it, let it pop up the clickable link. Click the link, takes you right to the bootcamp. So it makes it really easy. You don't have to remember a site. You don't have to remember a URL. You just have to scan the QR code. All right, so I do want to tell you about SCORE. SCORE is a national organization, and it facilitates mentoring for free. It is funded by the SBA, and the SCORE Alabama chapters have partnered with me for RISE. They want to get a stronger foothold in the North Alabama area and really help businesses grow. So you can get mentoring no matter what your industry, no matter where you are. You can be in real estate, and you maybe have a particular focus in real estate, and you want a mentor, and maybe that mentor is in California. Well, because everything is virtual now, you can have your mentor through SCORE for free talk to you and walk you through building your business, no matter what it is, no matter what your niche is, no matter what your industry is. SCORE is a fantastic tool at your disposal. And even as a business service provider myself, I would so much rather a new startup business go to SCORE, get mentoring, and then come to me for marketing and branding services because they've been coached, they've been prepped, they're ready to receive that. This is funded by the SBA, and it is a wonderful opportunity to get some free mentoring. All right, I do want to tell everybody about our partners. Our partners are growing, and this is helping us bring RISE to our community. We do a virtual option as well, so we will have this recorded, and our 1,500 plus audience that is on our email list and following us on social media are being funded. All of this effort is being funded and helping provided by all of these partners. So we've got Passion HR, specializing obviously in HR, Fantasy Playhouse. If you don't see the connection between theater and public speaking and entrepreneurship, there's a definite connection. Learning about theater can really help you polish your public speaking. So that was a great partnering opportunity there. Of course, my company, Face-to-Face Marketing, which is a full-service marketing and communications company, Minuteman Press, takes care of all of our printing materials. So the phone boards, the retractable banners, the notepads that are on your tables, all of those things were printed by Minuteman Press as a deal with our partnership with them. University Kia is also one of our newest partners. They will be joining us from time to time here at RISE and supporting our efforts. And Joe, you want to tell us a little bit about doing commercial? Oh, Terry, you want to tell us a little bit about doing commercial real estate?
Terry Dean, Commercial Real Estate, full service commercial real estate company covering most of the immediate area, not just Huntsville. Do sales, mentoring, if you are new to investing and you need that help in learning kind of where to go with it, what to do with it maybe. Okay, I don't really want to buy a house. Maybe I want to up it up a little bit, and we can help you know where to go with that. So just full service.
All right, thank you. Steve, you want to tell us about your company?
Sure. SEO and Associates, I'm a business advisor. I work with business owners and help them with all the trials and tribulations of running their business. And I facilitate a CEO roundtable group. So if you have an interest in either, or know someone that might, let me know.
All right, Ashley.
Good morning again, everyone. My name is Ashley Hines. I'm with Robert Accounting and Tax. We are a accounting firm that helps with all individual and small, medium-sized businesses. That includes tax preparation, tax planning, payroll, sales tax, anything that you all may need personally or for business. Thank you so much.
All right. So Ashley, you want to come up and help everybody introduce themselves?
Yes, can do. So y'all just heard a little bit about me. What I would love for everyone to do is take 30 to 45 seconds, say your name, say your company. No, 10 to 15. Oh, that's being United. My bad. 10 to 15 seconds to stand up, say who you are, say your business name, and one thing that you do that really helps your clients get the extra touch. So, thanks.
All right, Victoria, you want to start?
Yes. Good morning, everyone. My name is Victoria Jones. I'm a partnership manager for the Huntsville Amphitheater. One of the things that my job just includes is securing those big partnerships, but also working with local communities so that we can amplify them through our messaging and also through our venue.
All right, thank you.
Hello, I'm Diana Markovitz. I also work for the San Jose Amphitheater. I'm terrible at direction, so I am late. And my job is cultural programming and orienteering people, funny enough, but cultural programming so that the amphitheater remains open and accessible to all people that are interested in attending any kind of event at the amphitheater.
All right, thank you. Kathy.
I never know where to run over here so I can see everybody's face.
Okay.
I'm Kathy Miller. I'm a dual here. See if I can do this really fast. I have an educational consulting business, 27 years, and my primary role in the community right now is the community impact director of United Way of Madison County. We are the home if you want to volunteer. We're the home if you want to build a philanthropic, start small, grow, and impact your local community. United Way is here for you.
Rachel.
My name is Rachel Harshaker with Jamie Signs. We help business owners find their digital voice, and we do that through website design, graphics, and more.
All right.
Good morning, Suzanne Truckman, South Huntsville Neighbors, the magazine. You can ask Ashley about it. She and her mom have been on our cover. You can ask Kathy about it because she receives the magazine. It comes out every month. It's mailed to over 5,000 homes now, just so you know, every month. Well, no, because when we started, we were much smaller. Your company was also much smaller at the time. I'm also involved with the Huntsville Chamber. They're going to be having a meeting about the child care situation in the Huntsville-Madison area. If you're interested, look up the chamber and see if you'd like to be part of that meeting.
All right, thank you.
Hello. My name is Jennifer Upton. I'm CPA, and we have just moved to the Huntsville area. My husband and I provide chief financial officer services to clients who need a CFO, but they don't need it full-time, but they need full-time expertise. So that's what we do.
All right, nice to have you. This is your first time here, right?
It is. Thank you very
Yes.
much.
Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Ellie Olson. I'm the owner of Nice Guys Marketing. I'm a marketing coach and trainer and consultant, and my specialty is helping companies learn how to set and reach their marketing goals so they can create the small business they've always wanted. And I also volunteer with CABUS, which is another SBA-funded entrepreneur support system here in Huntsville, and I teach and coach new businesses just like Jennifer.
All right. Mr. Reeves.
Okay, I will come around the side here. I will also warn all of you to stay away from me because I left my phone at home this morning along with my parking pass. Who knows what else? I'm Dick Reeves. I'm a longtime entrepreneur and organizer of entrepreneurial activities here in Huntsville. I organized this tech incubator a long time ago and the Huntsville Angel Network. And today I am with the Institute for Exotic Science, which does startup businesses around pieces of technology that we find unused out at Weststone and Arsenal. I also serve on Huntsville's Industrial Development Board, and we are busy getting ready to support the child care efforts that are here with the financial support. We're going to organize that for I'll see you at the meeting.
Thank you.
And I'm Carol Alexander, and I'm with Snelling, and this is my first time in. And I'm fairly new to the area. I do the medical side of staffing, which, as everyone knows, is very unique at this time. But Huntsville is growing. I'm seeing a lot of people coming into town from out of state because of the medical need here in staffing. And I'm very glad to hear about the child care because I was just discussing that with two candidates yesterday. So that's very exciting to me to know that there's going to be some action taken on that. We do more than just medical side. We do recruiting nationwide. So we have a variety of people. Y'all know Snelling's name. It's been around for a long, long, long time. And I just combined my real estate background where I recruited for offices in Texas and Dallas. And I'm a CMA, have been for 12 years. And I've held on to that license all this time. It now to serve in Huntsville. So thank you all for having me.
Thank you. Mr. Buchanan.
Good morning, how you doing? My first one, I'm Vicki Buchanan. I'm a realtor in Huntsville, been a realtor for 12 years. I'm here representing Business and Beats. It's a platform to bring together music and business owners, probably through different venues that you've never seen before, and artists you've never been exposed to. So, thanks to you.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for being willing to share some information about your businesses. And that's what it's all about, finding opportunities to connect with one another and finding those similarities. I learned some things about people that I didn't know, and lots of opportunities to connect outside of this event to see how we can collaborate and grow and help each other as we're growing our businesses, because that is the name of our game. Oh, and that just went away. All right, it's not going. All right, now I want to introduce to you our speaker for today. I am excited about this topic. Scott and I have danced around this opportunity for a couple of years now, trying to make sure we had the right opportunity, the right situation to talk about this, the things that we're going to talk about today. Scott is of Huntsville, Alabama, and he is a principal and managing broker of Coldwell Banker Commercial McLain Real Estate. Scott has served as the Southern Division Chair of Governmental Affairs for the International Council of Shopping Centers. Additionally, Scott serves as chair of the retail group of Coldwell Banker Commercial globally, and also has served as a member of the Coldwell Banker Commercial National Advisory Board. Scott is a retail developer, an advocate for downtown redevelopment, and a proponent of adaptive reuse of existing real estate improvements. Love that. Scott is very active in the local, state, and national civic, political, and professional activities. He holds a degree in public policy from Duke University and a doctorate degree from Cumberland School of Law. Scott graduated from the Harvard University Graduate School of Design for the Advanced Management Development Program designation in commercial real estate and serves on the Harvard GSD Alumni Council. So please help me in welcoming my friend, Mr. Scott McLain. And we've got a lot to cover in a little bit of time. So first off, you are a commercial real estate developer here in Huntsville, and you have been here for a long time. What projects have you developed that we might know a little something about?
I have been here a while. I call myself a native by memory. I was born someplace else, but I've been here since I was age 3, so I don't remember being anyplace else. Huntsville is a great place to live, as you know, and a great place to work. And my family's been in commercial real estate for a number of years, as have I. And so I started out as a broker, but then there's a switch. It's right there. And I flipped it, and then you want to be a developer. And so I've developed some things. I specialize in things that are very difficult, very challenging, that are going to take a long time and just be really, really hard. Like easy things I let somebody else do. So you may have been to Costco. That is the fountain. Most people don't know it by the name, though. It's up there on the sign. It has been since the 90s. And we retained the fountain sculpture and put it in a roundabout. So that was a project that people know about, the fountain there. And that took 10 years. It actually took 10 years to get the seller to agree to sell, and then it took 3 years to develop, which means that my standards, it's pretty quick. The next thing that you would know that I've developed and have been in the process of developing, as long as most people have had careers, would be Constellation, which is downtown. And you've seen the Spring Hill Suites, which has been open several years, and now we've got 219 rental apartments that will open next spring. We just ordered signs for pre-leasing. We will also have a second hotel, which will be developed by Srinath Yedla here of Huntsville, who is a national hotel developer that happens to live here. And then we hope to build the tallest office building in downtown Huntsville. That's not a real big stretch. We're thinking 13 or 14 stories, we win. But that's going to require us to decide that we want to go back to the office. And we as a country are toying with that idea. And also, it's a challenge for me because you can't start that. If you say, well, I want to move out of the Times building and I need 5,000 feet, can I be in that building? Right. I need a whale. It's not that you're not a whale, but if you said, I need 100,000 square feet in that building, then we can start that building. So I'm out whale fishing, trying to find somebody. So if you see somebody in our community that wants to have a tall building with a great sign, and what I say to my friends across the street at Lanier Ford, where Lanier Ford's sign would be just a footnote. Be so high in the sky. We have an opportunity, but we don't have an opportunity until I catch a whale. So, Terry, come on, help me there. Let's find some whales. Then we will also have probably 5 restaurants, and I'm working on that now. That's been very challenging. You may have heard about lots of things that have happened. There was that Great Recession thing that made things very challenging. We had a 6-year discussion with the city. That was very challenging. Then we had COVID, which we're still enjoying. Now we have construction pricing, which is dramatic. So,
where's Constellation? Where is that going to be? And just bring us up to speed on, I've heard Constellation, I've heard it a lot.
You pass it 4 times a day.
Probably
you
so.
do. So, you've heard Memorial Parkway, that big one there?
Yeah.
And then there's Clinton that you use to get down to your office.
Yes.
Well, you pass it every day.
Okay.
It's the Spring Hill Suites, and you've seen the 4-story apartments that are now wrapped in Tieback, and that we're putting the roof on. That is Constellation.
Okay.
So the last piece of that is going to be the restaurants, which is what everybody wants. And The city did a study a number of years ago that said we need 200,000 square feet of restaurants in downtown because there's $95 million not being spent on restaurants downtown. So we're after the national market. We have the last national restaurant site in downtown. I say it's national because it's on the Parkway. It's not the Clinton Commons where the Coca-Cola site is not a great place. It's just not on the Parkway. So the national restaurants are talking to us, and I think you'll be very pleased with what it generates. So Archer Street, they make those decisions.
Okay.
And I told you it was really hard. A little more detail on that. A while ago, restaurants would pay $28 or $30 per square foot for a building. And then it kind of got to $35. And then we went through COVID, and it's now $45. And if you do the math, that means you've got to sell an awful lot of burgers and fries or whatever to pay that rent. So the whole industry has been in shock here for a little while as we deal with rental rates and construction costs. But nationals have to grow because they have shareholders and such. So they're coming around now, and I think we'll get some nice nationals.
Okay, I heard Cheesecake Factory.
Well, that's already opening just about in Bridge Street. Now, something I'll also say about Constellation is every restaurant that you have heard in the last 3 years, I've talked to probably first. And I didn't want cheesecake, and I'll tell you why. First of all, I think that concept is wonderful and it's great. They got a mini this War and Peace thing. But the concept is aging and it's maturing, and everybody says that's my favorite, I want to go, but you're not going to go to Cheesecake Factory twice a week. You may not go once a month. And secondly, they are doing you a favor when they make a deal with you. And so they say, you're 45, we're so good, we're so important, we're going to pay you 30 and you're going to like it. Oh, and by the way, you got to do our ceiling, that's $1 million. So I said, you're going to find another nice place. And they did at Bridge Street.
Okay. Well, that's interesting because I'm from Atlanta, but I've been here for 25 plus years. And so I see the complexion of Huntsville changing and more restaurants and the downtown scene developing. So this was really exciting to me to have this conversation. We had Jimmy Atkins with Destination Huntsville last time, and just a lot of the exciting things that are coming. So I thought having you was a great follow-up, talking about what's coming and what Huntsville is going to look like. In particular for the small business community, having those restaurants is a nice place for those of us who are small business owners to take a client for lunch and having that, having those options, especially downtown. So I'm excited to hear about that, and when we can learn more about what those restaurants are coming, I would love for you to share that with us.
It'll be fun, and I'm eager for that too. Making a deal is hard with a restaurant, and it takes a while, and there's a lot of negotiation, and it can take a year, and then they have to decide we're ready to announce. And so the announcements that you see, those deals have been in the works for more than a year, but you'll see some nice places.
And I've moved, my office is downtown now, so I see a lot of construction. There's construction going up literally right across the street from me. Is there still a lot of available area to develop downtown, or what is that conversation like?
Downtown is full. Every building but for UG White has been completed. There's not a vacant old building that hasn't already been done. UG White's been through a few iterations, and then we'll go through another one. Every other building in downtown is done. We're not like Chattanooga and Birmingham with great building stock, new places, new streets that we could go into. We're done. In terms of land, we're pretty done too. Right around downtown, there's just not much land. Our Constellation parcel at Clinton and the Parkway was the largest remaining piece. And now the Coca-Cola site will be Clinton Commons, and that's spoken for. We've got a little spot across the street, and I'm running out of things to say. If you said, well, I want an acre downtown, I'm ready to go, I'd say, well, I'll work on it. It's not like, well, you got three choices. The other thing that's happened downtown is prices have, shall we say, risen. Which is to say, and I'm not going to be able to do the math that we need to, but maybe you can do it later. It used to be that the properties downtown were $20 per square foot, and that's several $1 million an acre. And now they're 60. And the problem with the 60 is you can't afford to put a restaurant on $60 land. You can't afford to put anything on $60 land. But there are a couple of sales in that price range, and therefore that sets the market, and it creates a monstrous challenge for those remaining parcels. The only way to do something is to partner with somebody who's got one, because then you can play with the basis or the cost, and you can make it what it needs to be so that you can actually build the product.
Now, one of the things that I hear all the time since I have moved my office downtown, parking. Where do I park? I don't want to come to your office because I'm leery about parking. Is there any insight you can give us on parking downtown?
Well, this is where I will appear to be a contrarian, but everyone who studies parking will tell you the same thing. We're actually overparked downtown. We have more spaces than we should. If we didn't have so many parking spaces, we could have greater density downtown. So that strikes us all as odd. It makes me mad when I can't get a quick meter space in front of my office, which is now most of the time. It also frustrates me when I have to go to the fourth floor of the parking deck, which is now half the time. So we have a press on parking, but statistically and analytically, we have more parking spaces that are needed than we need. You'll figure that out if you ride around and you see the parking decks we just built a new one, and the big Bob Brown Center service lots, and they're not used all the time. So if you count those spaces, which you do in this analysis, but not in the practicality of parking in front of your front door, then we got more parking than is needed. But come on downtown, you'll figure it out. You can always find a place to park. Bring some quarters, and if not, you can use the app, and that works fine too. And our parking enforcement is not that terrible. And if you do get a ticket, it's $10, which is what you pay for an hour and a half in Atlanta.
Yes, okay, so Atlanta's the hometown, but
Any other city,
it is,
we have cheap parking. A quarter will get you some parking here, and that's comical.
Right.
People don't have quarters in here.
Right. Yeah, and so, and that is one of the things, I do love the app for the parking downtown. It makes it so much more convenient because living not in the downtown area and living in Madison, there's parking everywhere you want to go in Madison, but, not having to carry quarters and all of that when you park downtown, using that app I thought that was pretty inventive and innovative on the part of,